What's up, my Beardos and Weirdos? Today we're taking another look at the Reddit page r/entitled parents. This subreddit has some real gold, and we're going to be reading a story by One Big Fluffy Pillow. Let's jump into Let's take it one topic at a time. So this is a longer post, and we're going to be reading it out. I took a quick skim of it, and I know that this is a pretty good story. It's also got a lot of comments and some gold and silver attributed to it, so I think other people have appreciated it as well. So let's get started. Edited into paragraphs. Sorry for the initial text block, guys. Note, I'm German, so this is translated. This also happened about a month back, and I'm recalling the events. Long story, bear with me, you will be shaking your heads. I'm a 20-year-old female babysitter, and I have this girl, let's call her Mia, whom I watch at least once a week, plus whenever the parents ask me to help out. Mia is 8 now, and I started babysitting her when she was 4 months. Yes, I was 14 at the time. The family is great, and Mia is a really, really easy kid. We are like sisters. I never rose my rate, so keep in mind that I've been working for about €1.50? About $1.70 per hour for roughly 8 years. And could expect about a $24 gift card for my birthday and Christmas. I'm a babysitter for fun and not for money, and I'm true to that. What I earn just about covers expenses. I have an actual job that's paying for my life after all. When Mia is with me for an entire Saturday, we go on day trips. She loves shopping and sightseeing, so I mostly take her around to bigger cities. This is where the story starts. We are on the bus on an hour drive to the next big city. Taking the car meant stress for me, as I don't like driving, and the train was more expensive. Though both would have been a 30 to 40 minute ride, Mia and I like to go by bus. This private bus company has perks. On that particular day, I paid $12 for a return ticket. Mia, being under 10, went for free. Plus, they wait for you on the way back, but causing delays results in fees. Anyway, we were on the bus per usual. I brought my old Nintendo DSi for her to play with. I can do whatever. She plays happily. It's a win. Until this entitled mom, EM, and her 10-year-old boy come along. They take the seats right behind ours. No problem, right? Wrong. It doesn't take long for the boy to notice the console and the racing game Mia was somewhat fixed on. Boy to mom.
Mom, I want to play.
Well, go ahead.
I thought he would get our attention and ask nicely. Nope. The boy jumps up from his seat, reaches over Mia's lean, and tries to, I think that means lap, and tries to snatch the game from above. He gets hold of it for a moment, but the hand strap stops him. I made sure Mia's wrist was fine and the game was not broken from the rough move, and then I turned around, stopping the boy from another attempt. Me. Young man, that wasn't nice.
He just wants to play. Let him play too.
Teach your child to ask properly, and I will consider.
Don't tell me how to parent, kid.
But Mom, I want that game.
In a minute, sweetie.
No, it's not yours, and I'm asking you to leave us alone. I sit back down, hoping to have heard the end of it. Way wrong. Mia's seat shakes a few times. The boy is kicking her seat. She asks him to stop. He continues. I warned the mom I would tell the drivers. There are always 2 on the bus, just in case.
He is bored. Give him the game and he will stop.
I immediately get up, quickly help Mia change into another row, then go to the front to explain the situation when I hear Mia yelling.
Let go.
I turn around. This boy has one hand on the game and the other pulling her hair. EM is smirking his satisfaction as the boy rips the hand sling off Mia and returns into his seat holding the game. I immediately storm at him and grab it back without a word. He starts crying and screaming loudly. I don't care. It's 8 a.m. This was supposed to be a happy girl's day out. Now I had Mia in tears and a bratty son with his entitled mom on my hands.
You give him that back right now. My son was playing it.
Bus driver 2 comes to our rescue, practically pushed the woman and her son into the last row, asking us to take seats up front to separate us as far as possible. EM was advised to use some common sense, and this was not her game, and thus not hers to decide over. I didn't quite listen anymore, but I heard something from the lines of,
My son only wanted to try the game. These girls are unfairly rude to him. I demand an apology.
I hide my hand and give her the finger, not that EM could see. Mia snickers. Whoops, my bad. Mia saw. But Mia was already smiling and starting the game again. Fast forward to the end of a successful shopping spree. We were assigned for the last bus back, 7 p.m. departure, and 10 minutes early. I let Mia choose the seats as per usual, pretty much up front. There were 2 other couples waiting already and a third arriving with us. All seemed fine until the driver, I noticed it were the same drivers again, announced we couldn't leave. 2 people were missing and they would call them to either hurry to the bus or decline their seats. It would just be a few more minutes. Or not. We had to wait for them. Company policy. 7:30 p.m. my nightmare comes true. EM and her son walk up to the bus, not hurrying at all, ice cream cones in hand. No messy food on the bus. They have to finish outside. Again, not hurrying in any way. 7:45 p.m. head count. We can finally drive back. Everyone on board is annoyed by the delay. EM and son probably took the seats in the other aisle right behind us on purpose, but I wasn't going to say anything yet. Lesson learned, I hope. Bus driver 2 was driving now. Driver 1, D.O., comes up to the mom. Ma'am, sorry to bother you, but you caused a 45 minutes delay, and according to our terms and conditions, the company will fine you for that.
Fine me? What? For a few minutes? No way. I was told there would be a ride home waiting for us, and that's it.
I'm sorry, but you knew that beforehand. It's in our terms of service and company standards.
No one told me that.
You agreed to it, ma'am. The company will mail you everything. I need your ID, please.
No.
I'm afraid I will have to involve the police then. He goes back into his seat. The boy shows up next to me.
I want that game.
I told you no this morning. It's still no. He pulls a sad face and goes back to his mom. It's semi-dark outside. Mia is laying spread over her seat and in my lap. Not that I cared. She was tired and I expected her to fall asleep while playing. And she did, face buried in my jacket that she had folded up like a pillow on my lap. I turned the game off, but with the sling on Mia's wrist, I can't pull it away. EM suddenly hovers above me.
She is done playing.
So?
My son can play now.
No, he can't. It's my game.
Come on, just give it to him. He wants it, and you are too old for it anyway.
I don't care. It's my game. I said no, so please leave me alone now.
What gives you the right?
She's practically yelling. I'm worried she might wake Mia, and that I could end up with a cranky, tired child. I own it. Do me a favor and don't wake her.
She is asleep and doesn't need the game now.
Ma'am, the game is tied to her wrist. I would have to wake her to get it in any way. I would be playing then, not your son. It is my game, and if I have to tell you again, I will ask the drivers for help. You know I'll do it. Driver 1 turns around to us, giving her a stern look. I figured he was listening. EM and son moved a few rows back. I thought she was defeated. Again, I was wrong. A few minutes later, I was occupied with my phone, texting back and forth with a friend. I wasn't paying attention to anything else, but watching Mia didn't fall off the seats whenever she moved. I didn't think much of the tiny hand on my leg at first, since Mia's left arm was somewhere around there. Then Mia shoots up with an eardrum-shattering scream. I nearly dropped my phone in shock. There's the boy right there between my legs. He had crawled up from under our seats from behind to come up and probably try to snatch the game. That was his hand on my leg. And Mia had woken up to him staring at her right in the face mere centimeters away. The driver was cool enough not to cause an accident due to the scream, but stopped the bus as soon as he could. Both drivers were furious. The boy was crying. EM is screaming at Mia and I for making him cry, all while I'm unable to grasp the situation for a moment, holding the shaking 8-year-old. A man from the other couples gets up and manages to somehow silence the situation entirely.
This selfish girl scared my baby. She purposefully screamed right into his face.
Ma'am, why was your son underneath her seat?
I want this girl off the bus now.
Driver 2. Ma'am, please answer the question. Why wasn't your son seated?
He is a good boy. He can do whatever he wants.
I want the game, Mommy.
You owe my child that game, you...
I ignored the insult. I had to calm Mia, trying not to explode in anger myself. I was so mad. I wanted to punch something. The boy tried to reach for the game again. I had it with him. Admittedly, I didn't want to push him away as hard as I did, and I know I shouldn't have pushed him back at all, but since he only fell against his mother, I couldn't have cared less. I got up, face bright red, taking deep breaths as to not completely losing it. You listen here, kid. Don't you dare touch us or our game again.
You hurt my baby.
You better be glad he is underage, ma'am, otherwise he would be facing charges right now. Multiple attempts to steal my game for starters, and the way he crawled up beneath us, I could probably make a sexual assault out of that. Also, Child Protective Services would be very interested to learn you even encouraged your son. Yes, I probably could have done that with him underage, but let's be honest. He was probably the victim of this woman's miserable parenting guidance, and I wasn't going to ruin his life anymore then and there. I very much wanted to.
You have no right to talk to him like that. Your brat made my baby cry. You owe him that game now. He deserves it. He is a good kid.
She wanted to get past me herself now. Behind me, Mia still had the game. I didn't care for the game itself anymore, but she would probably hurt Mia trying to get it. Now, I'm 5'9", roughly 70 kilograms. I'm one straight noodle, and I really don't look like much. But I'm the only girl on an all-male rugby team. I take on guys bigger and older than her, and Mia knows that. She has seen me play. Mia.
Do your trick.
My trick. I can throw people over out of a stand pretty bad. That's my standard move, but I couldn't do that now. I had already overreacted pushing the boy. Both drivers and the man held the woman back. She was screaming and trashing around, throwing punches and insults all over while demanding that I gave her son that game. The two other men came to help taming her. It took a while until she finally gave in and sat down. And finally I thought, once more, we could get home. I had already told Mia's mom that we'd be back late due to the delay, but nothing more since our departure. So I have Mia huddled over the seats again, shaking, but sunken into the game again, and I take my phone out to let her mom know that we would be even later. That's when I hear EM whisper into her phone. She is obviously telling the police some story about a stolen toy, child abuse, being threatened and cornered by several men, and being too scared to ask for an early drop-off somewhere around. She was absolutely exaggerating and presenting her own twisted version of the story. I ask Mia to let me up, and I go tell the drivers. They look mortified, to say the least, and contacted the police and their office themselves as well. Now I had to type that out for Mia's mom as short as possible. I didn't want her to freak about police at the drop-off since she was coming to pick us up. Fast forward 45 minutes later, 8 cops are waiting for us, an ambulance, Mia's mom, who seemed to have introduced herself to the police already, along with some elderly man, who was there to pick up one of the couples. Mia is happy again, which I was overly thankful for. I was scared dead for this to have some traumatic impact on her. It could have been partly my fault for exploding. She had never really been in trouble, hence had never seen me mad. Mia runs up to her mom. I follow with our shopping bag. EM and her son are questioned separately in the ambulance. The rest of us had to answer questions as well. The drivers back us up with the bus surveillance cameras. EM is busted. Both she and her child are banned to ride with the company. She faces charges for a handful of things, encouraging her son to theft, false accusations, and attacking me among them. At home, Mia proudly presents her new fabrics. I have a sewing machine which we work on rainy days, and shirts. All within the shopping money her mom gave her for the day. I pay for myself. In the end, I got off with a warning for pushing the boy. EM pressed charges that were dropped due to the circumstances. The judge figured I was protecting Mia and my property in a heated situation, and that the boy's prior actions made it necessary for me to step in. EM was fined for the entire delay she and her son had caused, 1 hour 18 minutes in total, and was ordered to accept family assistance, and Child Protective Services were to look over the family situation as well. Mia wasn't affected in any way. Mia's mother was quite understanding and doubled my Christmas gift card. I guess it was somewhat an apology or a thanks. She said it was because I risked charges to protect her daughter and taught her to stand up and be strong. This weekend we went on another trip, boarding the bus heading out. I see the boy in line who looks oddly familiar, but the man at his side doesn't. I forget about it. We drive off. Mia smiles widely as I pull the DSI from my handbag. 2 minutes later, the boy. The effing boy.
Give me that.
Me, unsure if it's really him. How do you ask for things that aren't yours, young man?
I want that game, now.
No, sorry. Too rude. Go mind your manners, please.
Dad! She won't give it to me again.
This bulky man gets up from his seat. To my luck, one of the drivers is driver 2 from the month before. He recognizes the boy and me. DT. Young man, I need to see your ID, please. Where is your parent?
My son only asked to try the game, sir.
Yep, that's why he got banned last month. You have to get off the bus or I will have to call the police.
I bought tickets for this. I have the right to drive.
Police were called straight away. We stopped. The father got arrested for resisting police and fraud. Turns out both he and his son had signed in under fake names. Also, his son was 11 years old by now and needed a ticket, but was signed as 10 years old and didn't have one. Driver 2 came to me to apologize and see how we were doing. I told him no apology was necessary. I wasn't sure about the boy myself first. I thanked him for resolving the situation immediately. There were more kids on the bus, and this time, and Mia took over the last row with the 3 other kids. Sharing the game, taking turns, they had no trouble at all the entire ride, though, and I exchanged contacts with their parents. We are going to meet up in a fun house next week. Friends were made. That's how easy it can be. Honestly though, even on the second ride, had the boy asked nicely, I would have left the choice to Mia whether or not she wanted to share. After all, it could have been an opportunity to make a friend, and people deserve second chances if you ask me. But no, they felt like he had the right to have my game because he simply wanted it. He was rude, the parents were worse, I have no bad feelings for getting them kicked off the bus. However, I feel bad for the boy. It wasn't exactly his fault if he didn't know better.
What a crazy story. I thought in our last Storytime video we hit pretty much the longest post I'd seen on here, but yeah, this one's a heck of a lot longer. Entitled Parents, this was fun to read through. And well written, and it's so well written, I'm a little suspicious that it's a bit of r/that happened, but even so, I agree with one of the comments on here that even if it's not real, this was well written, and it encapsulates the feeling that I get whenever I encounter an entitled parent, so good on you. Keep writing in the future. Let's see what else you come up with, what other stories you have. Well guys, let's roll that Patreon outro. Roll it. Yeah, you know I'm kidding, I don't have one yet. In the future. Created that page, but not gonna link it until I have something cool for you guys. Thank you to everyone who's been commenting on all these videos and who's been requesting different videos. It's awesome. I didn't expect so many people to watch through these, but hey, I'm having fun if you're having fun, so let's see what we can make up together. I had some requests, some really interesting ones, so we'll see what I come up with next. Thanks everyone, and as always, we'll take it one topic at a time.